is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All righty, let's get into it. Talk a little Canes with the man, the myth, the legend that is Manny Navarro and our Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes report. Remember, go to caneswear.com to get the latest on anything with a U on it. You can also get Heat, Panthers, Marlins, Inter Miami, Miami Dolphins. They've got all kinds of stuff there at the store. And if you order over $99, you will get free shipping there at caneswear.com. How you doing, Manny? You hanging in there?
Doing good, brother. How are you?
I can't complain, my brother. We just continue to crank out and continue to grow. We're up to 13 insiders now, bro. How about that?
Crazy. It's crazy. Unbelievable job you've been doing getting so many great local people on and people who cover our teams. And man, kudos to you and the success that you've had for so many years. Oh, this is a product of all the years you've put in, not just what you've done the last few.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you and everybody that's joining it. And now we're adding some national guys to kind of round it out and kind of get a little more and add more of the national perspective. Since I think locally we kind of got it covered.
Yeah, kind of just a little bit.
And there's a couple elements that I'm still working on here to finish it all off. That as you know about it, and I'm still actually working hard to try to finish those things off. We'll do it before the football season starts. I'm pretty sure of that. But yeah, man, it's been a lot of fun. Alonzo Highsmith signs finally. It's been talked a lot about.
Worst kept secret, right?
Yeah, worst kept secret. But, one of the things that we talked about, because it's kind of been a name that's been associated for a while, and it started back with Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
And so with Diaz, we might have had a different way of looking at this addition to the program than we do with Cristobal now. With Diaz, maybe he had to look over his shoulder to see Alonzo Highsmith. But now with Mario Cristobal there, we still know who is in charge and who has the say in the end. This is more about somebody working with Mario, not somebody working above Mario.
Yeah, it's a different animal, this landscape here. This is more about Zoe coming in and really, I would say, helping Mario do all the maniacal things that Mario does when it comes with scouting talent, recruiting talent, and just being sort of, Mario's kind of like three different people, right? When he does his job, he's Mario, the offensive line coach, because he's never going to stop being that guy.
Right.
He's Mario, the head coach, CEO, and then he's Mario, the recruiter. This, I think, takes up maybe half of that third job that Mario likes to wear on his head and do, in the sense that, not that Mario won't be involved, but now he can sort of work hand in hand with Zoe to tackle that job. And Zoe, of course, a guy who's been in the NFL game forever as a scout and then as an executive basically since 2012 with three different teams. So he's got tons of experience. He's got tons of connections. I think the connections is really where Alonzo's strength is going to be. He's been to so many different places, college campuses, obviously to scout talent over the years. And it's not just anymore about recruiting high school talent. It's about recruiting guys on other teams, right? That's what's happened here with the transfer portal. And they'll never come out and say that because it's against the rules to tamper, but certainly you have to keep your eyes open. You have to know who might be leaving a school before they even come close to announcing it. And you have to be first in line in today's college football world to win. And so I think that's where a guy like Alonzo, with his connections throughout college football, is going to be such a strength here in this program.
Yeah, and you look at the success in having Alonzo there. You talked about players. Any shot that he could also help them with coaches down the line, as you
Absolutely.
have defections and promotions, and because you're going to lose coaches, man. That's just part of the game.
Yeah.
It's not just about firing coaches. You hope you never have to fire, but if you're really good and you have success, You're going to lose them because they're going to get promotions and they're going to get their own opportunities, and you're going to have to replace them. And because Zoe's been around, he might be able to help him out in that area too, I think.
No, there's no question about that. And I think, look, Mario's well tapped into the coaching ranks. He obviously has interviewed dozens of people for jobs at Miami here in this last cycle. But Alonzo can come at it a different way, with his veteran voice and knowing the NFL and knowing what it takes to get to NFL, helping guys get to the NFL if that's what they want to do. So again, that's another sort of great recruiting tool. I did the research the other day because I was doing something on Kevin Steele. So I looked at the just the defensive coordinators in the SEC from like 2015 to 2020, the years that he was there coaching LSU and Auburn. You talk about the life of coaches, right? How much they move. Steele's the only one that was there for 5 years with the same team. Like every other school, it was like every 2 years, every 3 years, they were changing coordinators in the SEC. And if you're going to run Miami in sort of the same vein, right, you want to be an SEC type program that's playing for championships, playing in big games, winning constantly, then you're going to have the same kind of movement here every single year. The days of Dabo Sweeney and his defensive coordinator who went to Oklahoma, like having him for a decade, like I don't think that's going to happen anymore in college football with just how much coaches hate the NIL/transfer portal game. I think a lot of them are going to go to the pros, but B, it's just hard to find guys that want to stick and be sort of a wingman for an elite head coach for a long time. Mario, I think, could do that here. He's got a 10-year contract, so you could probably have a coordinator here for, 5 years, the max 5 years. But the guys that he hired right now, Kevin Steele's at the end of his career, and Josh Gad is going to be a head coach somewhere someday. I think Jamil Adai, who's the DB's coach, could potentially move into a coordinator type role soon, if not a head coach as well. So, yeah, you're right. A guy like Zoe gives you an opportunity as Mario builds this thing, right? And the whole thing is to not just, hey, this isn't just about this year, winning this year and getting to the ACC championship. It's about building a perennial title contender. A guy like Zoe is going to come in handy without question as far as being able to recruit other coaches to this program.
Texas A&M. They announced some of the times they got a primetime game, 8:00 for that Texas A&M game. I like
8:00 Central, 9:00 Eastern. I mean, it's crazy. Monday, it's kind of like a Monday Night Football game. But you know what? I saw people complaining on Twitter. I'm like, dude, it's a Saturday night. If you guys can't stay up till 12 or 1:00 in the morning on a Saturday, I mean, give me a break, dude.
What idiot is complaining about having a primetime game, bro? What are you crazy?
There were people complaining that the 9:00 start was too late. I'm like, dude, you guys are all going to be drunk watching that game. Who says they're not going to be watching that game?
Are they 70 years old or something?
Right? Some of these fans, I just think people just like to bitch, right? I mean, that's just what it is, right? They always got to find something to complain about. But yes, I did have people on my timeline saying when I tweeted out the times yesterday saying 9:00, really? Oh, I'm going to be exhausted. I'm like, okay, all right. I guess you've never stayed up for a Monday Night Football game before.
Yeah, that doesn't. I love the idea because that gives the Canes a primetime game,
right?
And I think it's really important, even on the West Coast. Well, you think it's 9, but over there now it's 6:00, and so at least now you're getting a game a little more of a primetime game for the West Coast. And Mario has had his connections out on the West Coast, so this is something good where he gets to showcase his team. And dude, somehow or another, you're able to beat Texas A&M. That would be one hell of an accomplishment for Mario and the Canes.
Oh, no question. That is the marquee game of the season up until you get to the last two against Clemson and Pitt. And I know everybody will get up for FSU because it's FSU, but
no, the FSU one's not the pinnacle of the year.
Nah, has been for a long time, brother. You know that. But yeah, I mean, that is the pinnacle of the year, that first game, because that's obviously you get Southern Miss and Bethune at home the first 2 weeks, and those are warm-up games. But that game is going to really, in terms of national recruiting, Miami's in the race right now for a kid in Texas, a 5-star kid named David Hicks, who lives 30 minutes away from College Station. We know how many elite defensive linemen Texas A&M just signed. That's the kind of kid that if Mario goes out and wins in Texas, wins that game on the road, that's the kind of kid that all of a sudden, wow, you got a top 5 ranked elite recruit in the country who leaves Texas to come to Miami. That's how you swing things and become a real national title contender again. That's how you put the U back, by getting elite kids in Texas A&M's backyard. They came in here last year and did that, right? They took Shamar Stewart. It was such a big story. Texas A&M coming in here. They had the #1 class in the country. You want to flip the script quickly, go and win at Texas A&M, and then pull David Hicks. That's how all of a sudden you put the U back on track.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, outside of that, what else are they up for?
In terms of elite recruits, guys that they're after?
Anything on the horizon?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of visits June 3rd. I'm going to actually be writing about this kid, Olas Alinen. He's an offensive tackle out of Connecticut, Finland, kid out of Finland, who is one of the first, I think, one of 3 that are visiting the first weekend in June. I was texting with somebody in Miami to try to get the list of all the guys that were coming, but he is without question, I think, the top one. He's a 4-star, ranked 109th in the country, 6'7", 320-pound kid. Really, really good, movement. That's the kind of elite tackle you need to pull in here. Zion Nelson, he's going to get drafted next year. To me, he's one of the top offensive tackles in the country. I think Pro Football Focus has him rated 5th right now in the early projection. So you're going to need to replace him. So there's opportunity here, man. This first season is so important. For Mario, just to get the recruiting back on track. If he's really going to have success here, he's going to have to win over some of these elite national kids that aren't from here, because I think the kids from here aren't going to start coming to Miami again. The elite top kids locally aren't going to be coming to Miami until they see them win. I think with the out-of-state kids and all the connections that Mario's made, you have a better chance in some situations to land those kids over the ones in your own backyard.
So let me ask you: are you fighting people over there at the Athletic to go cover the SEC Media Days on July 18th through 21st?
I'd love to, man. That 3-ring circus around Jimbo and Saban, that's going to be funny. I'm actually
Hey, I just want to catch Lane on the outside, like just throwing javelins from the outside, just to just javelins with like a ball of fire tied to it, because he's just like igniting it even more. Yeah, just more lighter fluid to the whole situation.
He's just gonna be sitting there sprinkling with lighter fluid the whole time.
I've been to those SEC Media Days several times. I would give anything to go cover the SEC Media Days this year, bro.
Oh man, that's gonna be awesome. It really is.
That'd be awesome, because they're not going to schedule those 2 to show up the same day.
Oh no, not even no.
For those of you that don't know, it's spread out over a couple days, and so they have a certain group of people that will come in every day. So it'll be Georgia, Tennessee, and Southern Miss, and Alabama this week, and then Texas A&M and LSU and Vanderbilt and whatever the next day or whatever. So they'll kind of break it up, and so I'm pretty sure that you won't see Alabama and Texas A&M.
Not on the same day. No,
not at all. Not at all.
It'll be entertaining no matter what. The ACC Media Days haven't been that sexy at all. Although I will say this year, with Mario being there, I'm guessing there's be a lot more interest in the Miami table.
Right. Personally, it'll be fun for you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, man. Right now, there's real hope now, at least for the Canes. We're hoping now that maybe if they fix the damn offense for the Dolphins, maybe there's some balance now and all that. I mean, that's kind of that's where we're at in the part of the year. We're in the hopeful part of the year right now, and it's a sexy story, man. Cristobal is a sexy story, and also see the thing about the Canes that makes it an even better story. There's a lot of method to the madness. You understand that every time they add somebody, it just makes sense, and then they add another good coach and another good coach. And by the way, this thing started kind of shaky because we were going very shaky Rodriguez on this, going, hey, yo, what's going on? They hired the guy, but where's his coaching staff? Well, what coaching staff? And then all of a sudden it exploded, and it was kind of like Dolphin free agency. Dolphin free agency started like kind of with a whimper, and then all of a sudden, Teron Armstead, whoa, Tyreek, what? And so it's been kind of like that with both programs.
Well, and I would say this. I mean, everybody who came away watching the spring game saying, "Oh, they didn't look that good." It's like I told you right after that. I'm like, how many guys were out this spring that we didn't even see on the field, man? And then all these transfers that they went out and got. Like, to me, the roster's going to look totally different. The roster's going to look so different in the fall. And we'll see that first game, I think, against Bethune-Cookman. I know that it's not a measuring stick, but certainly that first look, you're going to be like, okay, this is a different team. Just the way they block. Oh, I'm telling you, people are going to be like, wow, this is a different level.
Yeah, I mean, listen. If you're breaking down spring ball, it's the same thing I told some other guy that I saw on Twitter. They had this whole breakdown of several passes a couple days ago of Teddy Bridgewater, and a couple of them weren't very good or whatever. And I'm like, dude, if you're breaking down May football, you need to get laid. you need to get laid, dude.
Yeah, man. There's no
There's
doubt.
no blocking. There's no tackling. They're not pressuring anybody. No one's scheming anything. How can you measure anything? What is wrong with you? It's May football, dude.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, let's go, man. You're not going to get any answers in a spring game. You're not going to get any answers in May football at training camp. Please, dude. What is wrong with you? Relax.
I think from the Canes' perspective, the most notable difference you will see that first game is the defensive line, because they went out and they got 5 guys in the transfer portal. You saw the Jake Lichtenstein kid in the spring game. I think he had a fumble recovery, a strip, a deflection. And you were like, oh, that kid's not bad. I think he's the 4th or 5th best guy on the defensive line.
It has to be on both sides of the line, bro. Both sides of the line have to dominate.
Yeah.
Because when the Canes were great, it's because both sides of the line were dominant, bro. That's just the way, and that's why Alabama dominates you, and Georgia dominates you, and LSU dominates you, and Ohio State dominates you. It's because in the O and the D lines, they got a bunch of badasses in there. And we haven't had a lot of those badasses in so long. They're so few and far between. When it used to be one guy after another, and it used to be like the guy that's backing you up is just as good or better than you, that kind of stuff.
But
and they have to get back to that.
They got real depth on the defensive line now, in my opinion. I think that without question. You say, what did they get better at in the last 6 months since Mario took over? Defensive line, without question. You just haven't seen those guys on the field yet, because more than half of them aren't even here. They're getting here.
I'm with you there. All right, follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Catch his work there at The Athletic. More importantly, please subscribe. What are you working on right now at The Athletic, so the folks can subscribe and get on board?
Well, the State of the Program series, which we've been running now for over a month, Miami will be coming out June 4th, a week from today, I guess. And so I'm or June 3rd. I'm actually in the middle of writing that now. I'm supposed to talk to Mario at some point today. And hopefully Alonzo Highsmith as well. So I'm going to have something on those guys. Obviously, the big acquisition, and then recruiting. Like I said, June starts the official visits. There'll be another recruiting story. So a lot going on, man. Just keeping busy as usual.
There you go. Twitter, you see it right there. If not, you're listening on the podcast. Manny_Navarro. Manny, have a fantastic weekend, my friend. We'll catch up on Tuesday.
You too, brother. Take care.
Thank you. That is the great Manny Navarro right there with our Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes report.